Good evening, everyone. Thank you for being here. My name is Nakima Levy-Pounds, and I am the president of the Minneapolis branch of the NAACP. We are here today because a manifest injustice happened in our community. A young man by the name of Draon Armstrong was riding the green line, and because he did not pay a $1.75 fare, Draon was treated with disrespect. He was not only given a citation, but he was arrested and brutally slammed to the ground by a Metro Transit police officer. And to make matters worse, we had the Metro Transit police go on television and attempt to justify the conduct of the officer in question. Those of us who saw the videotape of the incident were appalled that this was allowed to happen and that there does not seem to be accountability for the officer in question. Well, we are demanding that the Met Council conduct a thorough, independent investigation into this matter, that they actually reform the policing practices and policies that would allow the type of abuse that Draon experienced to be changed and reformed, because it's completely unacceptable. People of color ride the light rail on a regular basis, and they deserve to be treated with dignity and respect. Not to be racially profiled, not to be concerned about whether they're going to be met with violence if they don't pay their fare. And at this point in time, we're saying enough is enough. It is our hope that after we listen to Draon's story, that people can have empathy for what he went through, and that the general public will support this young man in his fight for justice. So we're going to call up Draon, and he's going to share in his own words what happened to him on July 8th of 2015. So come on up, Draon.
Well, my name is Draon Armstrong. I'm 21 years old, and on July 8th, I did not pay my fare. I was coming from my bank, which is in the government center, and you know, I was gonna walk down there, and me and my friend, we was just like, you know, you see the train coming. It's a Twins game this day, so you know it's kind of busy. So you know, so we hurry up and get on the train, and as we go there, you know, like they was taking transfers, and also I read like that they said that I didn't say I was gonna pay after. Before, when we got off the train, there was a Metro Transit worker there, and he said we can pay after. He told me and my friend who was with me. And you know, when we approached the police officer, we told them we would pay our transfer. We said that to them, and they would ask for our IDs. And then from there, I wasn't talking to the officer that arrested me. I was talking to a different officer. That officer had a confrontation with my friend, and I was like, "Don't talk to him. He's being rude. We don't talk to that officer." So from there, you know, I think he kind of didn't like that I didn't, you know, comply with him, but I complied with the officer. I gave my ID, you know, and then another thing, you know, I did ask for my ticket so I could get about my day, because I did have a lot of stuff going on. Also, I had work that day, which I had to miss. So, you know, it was just a lot. And when he got mad at the point where he decided that I should go to jail and not ticket me or my friend, because the officer that I was talking to told me that the first time they give warnings if they catch you, and that was my first time getting caught, like, you know, and I usually don't ride the light rail. I usually, you know, get on the bus to go to work. So, you know, when he said you're going to jail, I immediately turned around. I let him arrest me. You know, I didn't like try to run or anything like that. So for them to say that I wasn't complying with the officer, I felt the officer already had a grudge against me when he was talking, because he didn't speak like, you know, an officer should speak to another human being. Like, you know, like, that's the thing going on nowadays, where people think like, oh, we're not complying because when he tell me to shut up, I supposed to shut up. That's not how it's supposed to go. You talk to me with respect, you will give respect. I don't feel like I disrespected the officer, but I felt like I was disrespected. I was treated in front of a lot of people. I was embarrassed. I have to go to work. People ask me what happened, and it's just hard, you know, like, to deal with that stuff, you know, like. And then I was handcuffed when he threw me to the ground, like, what can I do? And then he dangled me over the railing, like, that's not being said. Like, he dangled me over there, like, and then once he threw me to the ground, he said, now what? And I'm wondering, now what to what? Because I said, all right. I was complying with him. I didn't have nothing on me. I don't understand why I was treated like that.
And he pulled out your hair.
Yeah, and he pulled out my hair too, you know. So, and my hair just don't pull out like easily, so you gotta yank it. So therefore, like, I don't feel like that was necessary. I wasn't being smart, you know, none of that. I let him check me. So for him to slam me was just like, for what though, you know? And I really want to know why he slammed me. And if they're like, if it's over 175, then wow, like if that's what y'all doing, if that's the action y'all taking over 175, then, you know, like, that's crazy. It really is to me. You know, the way the police treat young black men is not fair. You know, we have to deal with this constantly, being profiled, being talked to crazy. You know, like, if you work at McDonald's or if you work at the government center, you cannot tell nobody to shut up. You speak with them with respect. If you're a reporter, even if you're, you know, a person out here biking, you talk to people with respect. You know, and the police officer, they have the authority to tell a person to shut up, or, you know, why can't you say be quiet? You know, they should be, like, be able to use their words wisely by being a police officer. Because I'm a grown man just like they're a grown man. And treat me like a human being, not as a perk when you just run up on me.
Unfortunately, Draon's case is one of many. This is something I've been pleading with the Metro Transit officers to fix, and my cries have gone on deaf ears. I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. He should not have went through what he went through. More so importantly to me, I know this family. I know his brother, I know his sister, and I love them. So to hear that he was slammed and disrespected, and I know their stature, it hurt me even more. He did not deserve to get what he received on that platform.
Draon, this thing that happened to Draon was just malicious. At the end of the day, it was malicious. It was uncalled for, and it really looked like a one-sided street fight. How they slammed this young brother to the ground, and we as Black Lives Matter stand in solidarity with this young man, as well as with the nation, with bringing awareness to the disparities that are already happening. If you look at the ACLU report that came out on the disparities here in Minnesota for people of color, this only adds measure to what's already has happened and what continues to happen to young black men and people of color throughout the Twin Cities. Over $1.75, a man could have his hair pulled out. So we're calling upon the Metro Transit system to stand and say and apologize, Chief Harrington, for your actions, because there should never be policies that are in place that dehumanize anybody, no matter where they're from, no matter what they've done. And so I ask that they stand in accountability with what we're doing and be able to represent what we represent out here in this neighborhood.
It's important that we highlight that Black lives are not being treated equally by those in power, and that we must unite in times of injustice. Thank you.
Questions from the media?
Has there been any response from the Metro Council or from the Transit Police?
So far, there has not been a response from the Met Council. We have asked that they not only respond to the demands that we're making, which is, again, a thorough, independent investigation into what happened to Draon Armstrong. We're also asking them to look at the concerns that are being raised within the African American community about the routine racial profiling that happens on the light rail transit to African American youth and adults. We're asking them as well to reform the policies and practices that we believe are discriminatory, and to take immediate action, and to make the findings of any investigations public, and to respond publicly to the demands of the Minneapolis branch of the NAACP. Now, Jason Soul, the chair of our Criminal Justice Reform Committee, has heard from Chief Harrington. He has requested a meeting, and at this time, we are waiting until we hear from the Metropolitan Council before we will entertain any meetings with Chief Harrington, because they are Chief Harrington's boss, and they ultimately are responsible for what is happening on the trains and what happened to Draon Armstrong.
No, I really didn't push back. If you can see, this is like after he just holding me over the banister over there by the Twins thing. As I'm coming back, like, he kind of like shoved me, you know, so it kind of jerks me, you know. And then at the same time, when he was like arrested, well, I was already in handcuffs, and I don't feel like I came off rude to the officer, so I felt like I shouldn't be treated like that, especially slammed to the ground.
How are you doing?
I'm doing fine.
He's a brave guy.
Yes, he is. I'm very proud of Draon. It was bad what happened to him, and for us to receive the information, we was out of town and everything. It really had me kind of scared.
My name is Andre Parrish. I'm the dad.
Oh, okay. Well, Dad, how are you doing?
Well, I'm really not doing too good because I was in Chicago. My father had a stroke, and I was up there taking care of my father. And for me to see that, my son being slammed on the ground, it really upset me. And then I had to come home to check on my son because he could have killed him when he put his knee on his head. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, and you videotaped the incident?
Yes, sir.
How'd you happen to do that?
I was with him.
Oh, okay.
I actually didn't pay for the ticket. The same way he didn't pay for the ticket. And they didn't ticket me. They let me off the warning and stuff right after he slammed me.
So would you take it on a phone?
Yeah, it's on my phone right now.
All right. They had a knee in his face.
Had me in his face, yes.
Are the transit police worse than the city police as far as harassment?
You know, it's not about one being worse than the other. Injustice is injustice, no matter how minimal or how grand it is. We have to stand for the injustice or inappropriate behavior or conduct that's happening to our people at the hands of lawmakers, law officials, policymakers, city officials, whatever that is, Metro Transit Police. We're not going to stand for any more injustice amongst our people.
Berlina, not KK. And I'm with my friend, Mrs. Doris Christopher, and we're both members of the NAACP. And we were concerned because we no longer want to just sit by and let our kids be brutalized. In fact, I regret that we haven't stepped up before now to stop some of this nonsense that's happening to our children. I don't remember a time when it wasn't happening, quite frankly. We sat back waiting on the authorities and the government to stop this kind of activity, and that doesn't happen. So we can't allow our children to be brutalized without